Patriots. So live right now, we have the Twitter files again, but it's the one we've all been waiting for. It's the Twitter file dump on Donald Trump and exactly what they were doing when they suspended him. So I'm getting at it right now. I've been looking at it. I was waiting to see if what it was going to be, and then they came out with some pretty interesting stuff. So we'll go over it. My name is Ryan Samuels. This is the Ryan Samuels Show. We are going to get started here as soon as I pull this up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're on YouTube right now, Facebook right now, and you're in the live comments, what you need to do is you need to keep tapping that heart button, tapping that like and love button, and boost it in the algorithm. So here it is. Let's go back to the top. I'm going to go to Matt's homepage. We'll start from the beginning. A lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff in here about the FBI being involved, Twitter files. All right, this is kind of where it starts getting good. So let me pull up the comment so I can see. Ronald, hello Ryan, what's up? I have a question for you. What do you? I know a little bit of stuff about them. I don't really know too much, or haven't really looked into it. During their reign, I was not as deeply involved in politics when they were kind of huge. When they were in the middle of their fame, I didn't really follow it or know too much about it, but that's something that I could definitely look into and have a conversation. So, okay, let me get the link here in case anybody wants to have a conversation about this. So this is Matt Taibbi again. If you guys want to come on, click the link and we can have a discussion. So here's Matt Taibbi and what happened to Donald Trump. Now, we all know Donald Trump was suspended from YouTube. What we don't know is exactly why, right? They have come up with excuse and any justification as far as a lot of us were concerned. It was a lot of phallus arguments, and they go into that here. So, February 6th, Twitter was a unique mix of automated rules based enforcement and more such moderation by senior executives. As at Barry Weiss reported, the firm had a vast array of tools manipulating visibility. Most all of which were thrown at Trump, others pre-January 6th. As the election approached, senior executive, perhaps under pressure from federal agencies with whom they met more as time progressed, increasingly struggled with and began to speak of Vios as pretext to what they'd likely do anyway. After January 6th, annual slacks show Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensified relationships with federal agencies. Here's Trust and Safety head Yoel lamenting a lack of generic enough calendar descriptions to concealing his very interesting meeting partners. This, I can't wait to show you guys this because this is pretty. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to read it out loud. It happens. I'm a big believer in calendar transparency. I've reached a certain point where my meetings became very interesting to people, and they weren't meeting names generic enough to cover. Very boring business meeting that is definitely about Trump. That is definitely not about Trump, right? He's being sarcastic with a winky face. Yoel Roth, pretty much. Again, being sarcastic, definitely not meeting with the FBI. right here. You could zoom in on that. There's more, and it gets much more interesting. These initial reports are based on searches for docs linked to prominent executives whose names are already public. They include Trust and Policy, Vijaya Gadi, for like a week now, and I still can't pronounce these people's names. And recently, Plank walked Deputy General Counsel, former top FBI lawyer Jim Baker, right, which fired for suppressing the Twitter files they were releasing. Particular Slack channel offers a unique window into evolving thinking of top of late 2020. 14. On October 8th, 2020, executives opened a channel 2020 enforcement, right? The election essentially through January 6th. This would be home for discussions about election-related removals, especially ones that involved high-profile accounts, often called VITs or very important tweeters. Number 15. The latter group were a high-speed Supreme Court of moderation, issuing content rulings on the fly, often in minutes and based on guesses, gut calls, even Google searches, even in cases involving the. So this is pretty interesting, this right here. I'm going to open this up. It's actually better if I don't open it up. Breaking news. This is a treat for a tweet from Donald Trump that I'm reading for the people on the podcast that aren't seeing it. So, breaking news: 50,000 Ohio voters getting wrong absentee ballots, out of control. A blank election is what he's saying. Can't say those things because I will get suspended. Right? This stuff still goes on, and a blank election would be enough to be in violation, right? If the claim of fact were inaccurate, yes. Friday, October 9th, 2020. They're saying, but it looks like it's true. But they removed them anyway. During this time, executives were also clearly liaisoning with federal enforcement and intelligence agents about moderation-related content. While we're still at the start of reviewing the Twitter files, we're finding out more about these interactions every day. Listen to this. I'm going to read this again, just one more time out loud. During this time, executives were also clearly liaison with federal enforcement and intelligence agencies about moderation-related content. While we're still at the start of the Twitter files, we're finding out more about these interactions every day. Policy Director Nick Pickles, kind of like Tommy Pickles from the Rugrats. Anybody remember that? Policy Director Nick Pickles is asked if they should say Twitter did misinfo through ML Human Review Manual, I'm assuming, and partnerships with outside experts. The employee asks, "Oh, that's been a slippery process. Not sure if you want our public explanation to hang on that." And then this is the email. So they're putting it partnership outside experts. Wait a second. This is where it gets super interesting. I think the mic in my face. Let me just twist it a little bit. Pickles quickly asked if they could just say partnerships. After a pause, he says, "Not sure we described the FBI and Department of Homeland Security as experts." Here is the photo. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast and you want to look and review this and go through it, it will always be on RyanFSamuels.com. It'll be up there forever. On Facebook, it should be. YouTube, we will see after tonight. Number 20. This post about Hunter Biden laptop situation shows that Roth not only met weekly with the FBI and Department of Homeland Security, but with the Office of the Director of Intelligence. It's just the bot application has checked in. Here's what they said. What's new for you since our last check-in? Hacked materials exploded. We blocked the New York Post, which we talked about in Twitter Files 1. Then we unblocked it, but said we unblocked it, and now we're a messy situation where our policy is in shambles. Comms is angry. Reporters think we're idiots. Factoring an exceedingly complex policy 18 days out from the election. In short, FML. F my life. Weekly with the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and election security. The meeting happened about 15 minutes after the aforementioned hacked materials implosion. The government declined to share anything useful when asked. Monthly meeting with FBI, FITF, briefed on several ongoing investigations. This is so stressful, but it's so juicy. Roth's report, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, is farcical in its self-flagellating tone. We blocked the New York Post story, then unblocked it. Comms angry. Reporters think we're idiots. FML. He just reiterated that. So, I'm going to pull myself up. Full screen second here. Well, not full screen. You know what I mean. So the question has always been, is the federal government involved in Twitter, right? These internal emails are showing that they were, right? This is a fact now. This is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is no longer speculation. This is a fact. These are emails released from Twitter, from internal servers, from executives who the head of this committee is talking about meeting with the federal government about having tweets either taken down or throttled, right? Speaking of throttled, ever since I started talking about Twitter Files 3, it seems that everything I post only gets 2 or 3 likes, 5 or 6 hits. So if you're watching right now, I need you to do something. I need you to share this post. I need you to share this post right now. Click the like, click the loves. Just don't click the sad or the angries, because that slows it down in the algorithm. So let's see here. See another email. Some of Roth's later slacks indicated his weekly confabs with federal law enforcement involved separate meetings. Here, he goes to the FBI and DHS respectfully to go first on an Aspen Institute thing, and then to take a call with Apple. Yo, Roth. Hey there. I have to miss the FBI and DHS meetings today. Unfortunately, I saw you're on the invites for both as our site policy. Can you give me a quick readout if there's anything interesting that comes up? Sure thing. I hope that everything's okay. Yeah, I just have conflicts at both the same time. An Aspen Institute thing this morning on vaccines that I have to present at. And then a call with Apple to avoid us getting kicked out of the App Store during the DHS one. Those both seem very important. Okay, so he's emailing that he's going to miss this FBI and Department of Homeland Security, FBI and Department of Homeland Security meeting. Guys, any questions, comments? Put them in the comments section. I will read them out. I'm going to attach the link again for anybody who wants to come on the show and have a discussion. So let me keep scrolling down. Here, The FBI sends reports about a pair of tweets. The FBI is sending reports about tweets to Twitter, which involves a former Tippecanoe County, Indiana councilor, Republican named John Basham, claiming between 2 and 25% ballots by mail are being rejected for errors. The FBI is concerned about somebody expressing what's going on with the mail-in ballots. The FBI is interfering with that communication to the public. We just got a report from the FBI concerning 2 tweets, and then the tweet numbers related to the shredding of mail-in ballots. This is proven to be false via PolitiFact, but the FBI is bringing this to their attention. The FBI is bringing this to their attention. Twitter's not bringing this to itself attention, and Twitter's bots are not flagging it. The FBI is actively bringing it to the attention of the of the executives of Twitter and asking them to censor it. Massive, massive news that I guarantee will not be on any news channel for the next forever. Because they feel that other stories are more important, which is crap. They just don't want to talk about this. They don't want it seen. They don't want it heard. Here's another tweet. The FBI's second report concerning this tweet by John Basham. Editorial. The Democrats are in complete panic as their massive push for vote by mail is backfiring on them. 2 things are unfolding. An unexpected number of registered Republicans are returning ballots. Between 2% and 25% of ballots by mail are being rejected for errors. The FBI flagged tweet then got circulated in the enforcement Slack. Twitter cited PolitiFact to say that this story was proven to be false. Then noted the second already deemed known via on numerous occasions. That's mind-blowing. So the FBI is directly involved in removing tweets on Twitter with proof. The FBI is directly involved. It's a fact now. Why is the FBI involved in tweets on Twitter? You hear me in the background? Why is the FBI involved with tweets on Twitter? I think that's a great question. I think that's well beyond their words, are well beyond their purview, unless they're bringing the attention of a terrorist attack that was tweeted out. Hey, we're going to go here and do this. And then the FBI goes to Twitter and said, hey, you need to take this down. I think that's a different story than, hey, these ballots are coming up with errors. Examining the entire election enforcement Slack, we didn't see one of the references to moderation requests from the Trump campaign. The Trump White House or Republicans generally, we looked. They may exist. We were told they do. However, they are absent here. Number 31. In one case, former Arizona Governor Mike Huckabee joked tweets about mailing in ballots for his deceased parents and or grandparents. So he just puts a joke tweet out, right? Scroll down. This inspires a long Slack that reads like like a parody. I agree, it's a joke, concedes a Twitter employee, but he's also literally admitting in a tweet a crime. He's saying it's a joke, it's satire, but he's also saying that he's admitting to a crime. So, oh, dear God, this is wild. The group declares Huck's an edge case, and though one notes we don't make exceptions for jokes or satire, they ultimately decide to leave him be because we poked enough bears. Here's the response. This could still mislead people. Could still mislead people. The humor averse group declares before moving on Huckabee. Here's the email. Sunday, October 25th, 2020, by Yoel Roth. Yeah, I could see us taking action under misleading claims that cause confusion about the established laws, regulations, procedures, and methods of civic process. But it's not one that we could really label in a useful way. So it's removal of a stupid and ill-advised joke or nothing. Maybe inclined not to remove without reporting from voting authorities, given it's been a while since he tweeted it, and virtually all of the replies I'm seeing are critical counter speech. So they decided not to remove it because it wasn't making any ground, is what they're saying. They went and looked at it, and they're saying, oh, well, people are disagreeing with it. People aren't agreeing with it. If they're agreeing with it and it's real, it's a problem, so then we need to take it down. Oh, but there's no need to take it down because this just makes them look bad. So they're cherry picking the speech. Oof, I just saw this, looking at the replies now to get a feel for much confusion is being generated. A quick glance indicates that people aren't confused, but I have concerns under the policy we don't make exceptions. Roth suggests moderation, even in this absurd case, could depend on whether or not the joke results in confusion. This seemingly silly case actually foreshadows serious later issues. Yeah, I could see us taking action under misleading claims, but that caused confusion about the established laws, regulations, procedures, and methods of a civic process. But it's not one that we could really label in a useful way. So it's removal of stupid and ill-advised joke or nothing. I'm maybe inclined not to remove without report from voting authorities, given it's been a while since he tweeted it, and virtually all of the replies I'm seeing are critical counter speech because it's critical counter speech. That's why it's not a problem. And the docs execs offer expand criteria to subject issues like intent. Yes, a video is authentic, but why was it shown? Orientation was a banned tweet shown to condemn or support. Or reception, did a joke cause confusion? This reflex will become key in J6. All right, we are at number 35. We're going to take a break because we're going to be here for a while. This stuff is pretty juicy. We will be back in a couple minutes. Stand by. The world we live in is like no other at any other point in history. Current generations are genuinely confused people who believes the government is good. They fail to realize the system in place. A system has provided them with a scripted school of thought that has corrupted their historical view. The public school system, news, and Hollywood have drilled a unified message into society. That message is simple. Be a good citizen, do what you're told, guns are wrong, the government is good, and the only free speech that is allowed is one that doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. We are taught never to question authority and always obey our masters. The United States was founded to protect human beings from living in this society. Oppression was supposed to be a past practice, but now, one man can sign a piece of paper and force you to accept a needle in your arm. But nobody seems to recognize this. Like cows smiling as they are led to the slaughterhouse, they willingly accept this. And if the government can do this, what else can they do? We have all been fed lies, and it is time to set the record straight. We need a revolution of knowledge. The knowledge that has vanished, suppressed deep under years of disinformation. My mission is to spread this knowledge. The truth that we do not hear these days. The truth that is suppressed by the corporate media, government, and social media. We can change the status quo. With biased so-called fact-checkers and corporate search engines banning unfavorable opinions, it is going to take private funding to overcome this. Subscribing to this channel costs 99 cents a month. And for that $1, you can contribute to spread the knowledge and free exchange of ideas. Get exclusive content that gives you the ammunition you need to change minds. Exclusive content that gives you the accurate history that will show you and others the society we live in is oppressive. All right, we're back. Number 35. Sorry, but I had to get a beverage because I coughed myself to death. This itch in my throat I just couldn't get rid of. In another example, Twitter employees prepared to slap a mail-in voting safe warning label on a Trump tweet about a postal screw-up in Ohio before they realized the events took place, which meant the tweet was factually accurate. Trump is tweeting about a blank election, and you know what I mean when I say blank election. I can certain words I can't say. Scroll down, 36. Very well done on speed. Trump was being visibly filtered as late as a week before the election. Here, senior guests did not appear to have a particular violation, but still worked fast to make sure a fairly and anodyne Trump tweet couldn't be replied to, shared, or liked. They throttled him. A week before the election, they throttled Donald Trump on Twitter. The President of the United States. Silenced. Now, they're having meetings with the FBI. Do we know what was said in those meetings? I know that Donald Trump feathers, for sure. I know, especially in the intelligence community. I was actually to Donald Trump earlier today. We got a video I'm trying to upload. He's got a message for you. But I'm not going to get into the conversation because I can't, unfortunately. But you know what's being said in those conversations. I think this is a valid question. You know how far, how deep was the government's involvement in these bannings? We're saying that there's clearly involvement. It clearly happened. It's absolutely a fact at this point. We know for certain, right? We absolutely know for certain that the government was involved in these tweets. Switch this up here. Yeah. Let me take this down. So we know for a fact that the government's involved, right? We see it in the emails all over the place. We see that the FBI is having meetings. We see that they silence. The FBI is proactively selecting tweets that they don't like about blank election or election blank or people who suspect election blank. And what's happening is we don't know to what extent. Now that we know that it's there, so now we know it's definitely the federal government suppressing free speech through Twitter. We know that. I mean, dude, it is done. This is going to be a Supreme Court case. Somebody's going to pick this up. Somebody's going to sue the federal government for civil rights violation, and they're going to take it. James Woods has already said he's doing it. as these Twitter files come out and as they increase and as we learn more and more and more, they're citing people. So now we got Mark Huckabee, we got Donald Trump. We're going to see all these guys sue the DNC, the FBI, and other branches of federal government for civil rights violations. And that's the only way that we're going to stop this. We need to take this to a legal process and set a precedent. We have the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is going to lean towards freedom of speech, right? The Supreme Court typically, historically, has always leaned and protected freedom of speech. So this is going to unfold. It's going to take a long time, but it's going to go through a very long process, and the Supreme Court's going to pick it up pretty quick, especially if all of the stuff that they're stating keeps growing. Again, guys, questions, comments, put them down below, and we will talk to them. We will talk to them. We will talk to them. We will get to them. There it is. Okay. Come on, man. Have more, Matt. A very well done speed. Your Roth can skip. Pager duty 2. Let me switch this back around this way. Happened already. Be talking to everyone involved. Going to apply the EDI right now. Is there a thread already with comments, etc.? So they are rapidly trying to take this stuff down. A seemingly innocuous follow-up involved a tweet from actor James Woods. Now he's here again, whose presence argued over Twitter. Twitter data sets it already. The Twitter files in joke. James Woods posted this. Twitter is suppressing this tweet by the president. Here's the screen grab. He took a picture of it and posted it. Said that they're suppressing it. So Donald Trump said, big problems and discrepancies with mail-in ballots all over the USA, must have a final total on November 3rd. Some or all of the content shared in this tweet is disputed and might be misleading about how to participate in elections or other civic processes. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words of shame and disappointment that the federal government is this involved in Twitter. And I'm sure everyone else. That's probably why I have like 0 people watching right now. Usually have anywhere from 20 to 100 at a time. And yeah, I'm being throttled back. I'm posting things right now on Facebook where I have 70,000 people. My stuff normally gets like 400,000 or 500,000 hits, and I get none now. So maybe everybody's over at Twitter. Maybe there's a logical explanation, but you would never know in a throttle because they don't tell you. They just do it. Shameful. Or maybe I'm just not popular. I mean, that's a problem too, right? But no, I really appreciate all of you followers. I know you guys are there. I see you there. I see you watching. Don't forget to comment and hit the like button in the live video. Hit the love button. Keep tapping it, and it's going to boost. It's going to boost it when you do that. That's how you jailbreak it. That's how you unthrottle it. So afterwards, Angry quoted a tweet about Trump's warning label, Twitter staff, and a preview of what ended up happening after January 6th, disparate of a reason for actions, but resolved to hit hard on future video. Long one. They're up to 52 and we're at 30. Considering the bug outs this weekend, James Woods being so over the strike limit that our tools won't work on him, I'd suggest we action him for something worth the fiasco rather screenshot. Since we don't have a firm basis for action on his account. Yep, you're letting this one lie can hit him hard on future vial with firmer basis. So now here's the thing. So wow. Look at this email. Oh my God. So James Woods takes a screenshot of Donald Trump. The tweet that they censored about him talking about election blank. They look at it and they say, well, this isn't nothing we can do about this, but we need to silence this guy because we disagree with him. We need to silence him because he's going against the narrative. So they agree in email. It's right up on the screen right now. Considering the bug outs this weekend, James Woods over the strike limit, that our tools won't work on him, I suggest we action him for some of the fiasco rather than screenshot. They're going to try to find something else because they don't like what he posted that isn't in violation of anything. Insane. Here, a label is applied to Georgia Republican Congresswoman Jody Hice saying, say no to big tech censorship. And mail ballots are more prone to fraud than in-person balloting. It's just common sense. Uh-oh, I said the F word. I said the fraud word. I said the fraud word. Twitter team went easy on only applying a soft intervention, with Roth worrying about a wowship optics backlash. Meanwhile, there are multiple instances of involving pro-Biden tweets warning Trump may try to steal the election that got served to be approved by senior executives. This one, they decide, just express concern that mailed ballots might not make it on time. They just keep coming. There's a ton of. That's understandable. Even the hashtag. Well, you guys can read that. STEAL are votes. Referencing a theory that combo of Amy Coney Barrett and will blank the election. Well, I can say this because this is okay. So here's how the game works. This is the Democrat tweets claiming that Trump's going to steal the election. You can say that, and not without fear of reprisal, because they didn't have any reprisal. The thing that this is pointing out here is that Trump is questioning ballots, right? And Democrats are at the same. Trump is questioning the mail-in ballots. The Republicans are questioning mail-in. It's a question, right? Some of it's accusations. I'll give you that. Is actually they're questioning ballots while they're being censored for questioning the ballots, and then the Democratic Party is saying they're trying to steal the election, and that's not being censored. That's being promoted. So to the public, it appears that what the Democrats are saying is true, and what the Republicans are saying is false. I can't say what I want to say right now. I just realized how restricted I am, how restricted we all are. Because on the platforms I'm on right now, I can't say things that are my opinion that are now fact. There are certain things because it violates community standards. But where did the community standards come from? We know now that Twitter was heavily influenced by the FBI government, which is restricting speech on individual citizens. Big problem. Huge violation. I'm going to have a Rumble only video, to get out what I really need to say. Later in November 2020, Roth asked if staff had a debunk moment on that SkyTel smart vote counting stories was Department of Homeland Security contacts told him were a combination of about 47 conspiracy theories. Man, the Department of Homeland Security is involved with Twitter in silencing conspiracy theories. This I wonder if one of the conspiracy theories they wanted to silence is that the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security were in cahoots with big tech and social media and Twitter. I mean, with the guys all the time, and they want to silence conspiracy theories. Why does the government want to silence conspiracy theories? What do they care? On December 10th, as Trump was in the middle of firing off 25 tweets, things like a coup is taking place in front of our eyes, Twitter executives announced a new L3 de-amplification tool. This step meant a warning label now could also come with de-amplification. Hello, everyone. I wanted to give you an update on some of our enforcement options. Let me open this up here. Tweets containing a civic misinfo that we've seen. It's been decided that tweets that we've newly reviewed and determinable will now be subject to L3 de-amplification, further restricting the extent to which that tweet can be shared. Batch of entity IDs will soon be used for automatic labeling, but have created a new batch of entity IDs for the labels that we've been using. They're just saying that they're shadow banning it essentially. Some executives wanted to use the de-amplification tool to solidly limit Trump's reach more right. All right, let me read this again. Some executives wanted to use the new de-amplification tools to silently limit Trump's reach more right away, beginning with the following tweet. So they're tweeting, I'm not going to say it, but they're tweeting, it's a Newsmax story, right? Saying that Trump got X amount more votes than they thought, and they're flagging it. And then they're slowing it down in the spread. They're slowing it down in the spread. So hold on a second. You guys know how I am. I can't do two things at once. In the end, the team had to use older, less aggressive labeling tools, at least for that day, until the L3 entities went live the following morning. The significance is that it shows that Twitter in 2020 was deploying a vast range of visible and invisible tools to rein in Trump's engagement long before January 6th. This is before January 6th. The ban will come after other avenues are exhausted. In Twitter docs, execs frequently refer to bots. Let's put a bot on that. A bot is just any automated heuristic moderation rule. It can be anything, everything. Every time a person in Brazil uses green and blob in the same sentence, action may be taken. All right, we're at number 49. We're getting there. In this instant, it appears moderators added a bot for a Trump claim made about Brett Bart. The bot ends up becoming an automated tool, invisibly watching both Trump and apparently Brett Bart will add media ID to bot. Trump by January 6th was quickly covered by bots. the question at hand is, was this part of the censorship at the direction of the FBI? Was the man, it's really scary to think how deep this rabbit hole goes. There is no way to follow the frenzied exchanges among Twitter personal from being There is no way to follow the frenzied exchanges among Twitter personnel from between January 6th and January 8th without knowing the basics of the company's vast lexicon of acronyms or Orwellian unwords. To bounce an account is to put it in timeout, usually for 12 hours review to cool off. Give a heads up to folks, give it another few minutes, then proceed with bouncing. Bouncing Trump's, the President of the United States. One of the many nouns used as a verb in Twitter speak, interstitial, means placing a physical label atop a tweet so it can't be seen. This is all necessary background on January 6th before the riots. Company was engaged in an inherently insane, impossible project trying to create an overexpanding, ostensibly rational set of rules to regulate every conceivable speech situation that might arise between humans. This project was preposterous, yet its leaders were unable to see this, having become infected with groupthink, coming to believe sincerely that it was Twitter's responsibility to control as much as possible what people could talk about, how often, and with whom. That's how they felt. The firm's executives on day one of January 6th crisis at least tried to pay lip service to its dizzying array of rules. By day two, they began wavering. By day three, they hold on. By day three, a million rules were reduced to one. What we say goes. See. All right. Well, at least I caught up with the stream here. So we'll see if they post any more. I'm trying to get this video uploaded because I did talk to Donald Trump Jr. today. I'm just being super slow, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I don't even know where to go. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm a little shocked. You know, this is something that we knew, right? This is something that I think all of us kind of knew, or at least suspected, and now we're stuck in this time of reality where we do find out that the government is this engrossed in our political process and elections. So that is an extraordinarily concerning scenario. So try to open this video. So what is Elon Musk's purpose for doing this? Is he doing this to reveal free speech? Is he doing this because he's trying to help Donald Trump get the truth out? I mean, there's a million different reasons to do this. I mean, he was genuinely ticked off when he was on Twitter and was open before. That's why he bought it. I mean, he literally bought Twitter in a tweet. Talk about power, right? Imagine just being on Facebook and being like, yo, at Mark Zuckerberg, I'm gonna buy this at $52 a share, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, does he have any ulterior motives? I mean, that's a good question. I appreciate you asking that, but does he have any ulterior motives? I mean, you don't know. I mean, as of now, it's benefiting all of us because the truth is being revealed. The truth is being out. The truth is being revealed. I say that for the 800th time, and just how scary it is. Now, I wonder how long before we see Elon Musk targeted by the government. How long will it take before Elon Musk gets hit by the IRS, like we saw under the Obama administration? How long before there are indictments passed down for his tax returns? We just saw that they went after the Trump organization and said that they defrauded taxes. This is an organization that Donald Trump is not involved in the day-to-day operations, is one of the many organizations that he owns, and they all have his name on it because he's very good at branding, especially his name. So how long until they hit Elon Musk with something? All right. I think I finally got this video pulled up. I'm going to try to play this now. See if it works.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr., good luck on the podcast, man. Thank you so much for the support of myself, my family, my father, but most importantly, the movement in our country. Hopefully you're as MAGA as it sounds, but appreciate you being out there. And as an American, you can do whatever you want anyway. So good luck with the show. Hopefully we can check it out on Facebook, Rumble, Apple. It seems like you're trying to get it out there. And so I wish you all the best of luck with that, being an entrepreneur and hopefully fighting for all that we believe in, man. So good luck out there. Look forward to checking it out. And when you get big, maybe you'll have me on, okay?
Well, thanks. And I appreciate you doing that for me, Donald Jr. I know you're going to be listening at some point today, which is what you told me. So, did I know this stuff was coming tonight? I can't answer that question, but I did kind of have a talk today. So, but it's way more compelling than I thought it was going to be, and I'm interested to see the evidence that comes out. The evidence already came out. I'm interested to see where this goes. I mean, this is serious. You don't get much more serious than this. And I'll tell you that the missing piece has always been for me. People have been saying big tech is censoring citizens and celebrities, and unfortunately, the way that the world works, the way that our United States government works, is that they can choose to take you down for any reason that they want to. They don't need a reason. But the piece now that's been proven is the influence of the Democratic Party, the influence of the federal government and the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. That is the piece that now makes this a violation of the Constitution, to which there's going to be some lawsuits. But now the owners of Twitter are gone now, but they can still be held liable for this. The FBI agents can be held liable. If a local police officer can't even do his job and arrest somebody the correct way without going to jail or going to trial or having to, God forbid, use their firearm in the line of duty and be accused of murder when they justifiably shot somebody, which we've seen in cases upon cases upon cases. I mean, there are cases that weren't justified either. They're not all saints. But what I'm saying is that an FBI who legitimately breaks the law and breaks their oath to the Constitution and enforces that and uses their power to corrupt an organization and then have that organization attack the individual's liberties, that's a proxy war. That's a proxy war. And that's why we can't. That's why it can be pursued legally. And listen, it's going to be pursued legally. Let me tell you, that's coming. If it already hasn't been coming, if Elon Musk may be holding back information that they're going to use in evidence that they already gave access to, and I'm sure he's had conversations with these people before it's even been released. Wild. I'm going to try to pull up. Let me see something here. Dan Bongino was in the Twitter files last night. They came out and they shadow banned him. I mean, yeah. But I haven't heard from him yet. I'm curious to see if, let me see here. Oh, here it is. All right. I'm going to play this for us. Come on, baby. There it is.
Let's go back to Elon Musk, and let's go back to his words here. And he said the media is complicit, and they were lying to the American public. They spent a total of 7 seconds this weekend on the Sunday programs talking about this huge story that broke last Friday. Or Elon Musk himself saying, if you shut down dissenting voices, it is by its very definition election interference. He even admitted that Twitter was acting as the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party in this election. Election interference. Now, we're not even including Meta or Facebook or Zuckerberg. We're not including Google. We're not including Apple. We're not including YouTube. And I think that Congress needs to demand that they become as transparent as Elon Musk has become here. And I give him a lot of credit for this.
Yeah, listen, to Elon Musk, I don't know if you're watching or not, but if you see it later, just a heartfelt thank you. I was talking to our good friend Mark Levin before on his great radio show, and Mark said the same thing. Regardless, thank me, man. Sean, regardless of what happens moving forward.
Dan, you got to love Mark. He's the best guest. He's the only one that tells you, that's it, I'm done. Go ahead.
I know when you're called the great one, you can do that kind of stuff. That's why you defer to Mark. But with Elon Musk, regardless of what happens, he legitimately may lose billions of dollars on this acquisition. I don't think he will. I think he's a creative guy, and I think he's going to build this thing out to be something special. But he has done a service to this country. He has literally, not figuratively, changed the history of, I think, how big tech is going to operate moving forward. He's exposed one key point. I want the audience to understand this, that what the press did to collude and interfere in and potentially fleece the 2020 election away from Donald Trump based on solid data, a polling taken afterwards about how people would have voted if they would have known about the Hunter Biden story. We're not getting into any other stuff. I'm talking strictly about that. The media intentionally did that, Sean. This is my point. This wasn't misfeasance, right? Misfeasance is different. You see someone trip on the sidewalk in front of you, you don't help them. That's misfeasance.
All right. So he's he's upset, and justifiably so, and he's thanking Elon Musk for doing this, and I think he should. I think we all should be grateful to bring this to light, and people who expose government corruption like this are never treated well, right? We saw this with Edward Snowden, who released the information that the intelligence agencies were illegally tapping your phones and your emails and accessing your webcam and your location data and your audio recording and listening to what you're saying on your phone, even when it was off. Because he said that when it's off, it's still there and they can still turn the microphone on. That's real, right? He was saying this stuff and people were saying this guy's crazy. This is not true. And it was all true. The government came out and admitted it and said that they stopped the program, but we will never know that for sure. Because all they have to do is a similar program under a different name and classify it and limit its access. And we would never be aware. So people like this, people who come out and speak out against the federal government, are typically crushed. Now, the advantage that Elon Musk have is that he's the richest man in the world, worth a staggering $118 billion. So he is in a position to where he has a lot of power. He has Tesla. He's a provider of a lot of jobs, and he essentially could destroy something that's very beneficial to an elected official, especially the president, which is the economy. Especially with the new Green Deal and the motive of increasing and decreasing carbon footprints, when he's the biggest electric vehicle manufacturer in the world. Very interesting stuff. Very shocking, even though, I mean, Trump's been screaming this for years that they're doing this, and they denied it, and then they helped deny it with the federal government and social media together. So it makes you wonder if all the other stuff that he's saying is true. I just, it's a great question. And how deep does this rabbit hole go, and how far will this investigation and revealing of stuff go? They haven't even released everything. They're still doing it. I just took a break from reading. I mean, they're still releasing this stuff, and they're going to continue to release it. And it's for sure going to affect the people's perception, a lot of people's perception. Now, people are going to take their side, either whether it's the many or the few, right? People are going to jump to they're going to discredit this and say, no, they were just doing their job. Yeah, of course the FBI was telling them to take it down because Donald Trump is a fascist. He was trying to steal the election. He was trying to overthrow the government. And the disinformation is there, and people believe it and shoot it down, because for years, opposing views have been silenced. For years, you were unable to say anything about the V word. You're unable to say anything about election blank. You were unable to discuss this word or where it came from, China. That was false information too. So I think wholeheartedly say that the federal government has grown so big that it has reached every act of and control of our society. I think, my opinion, the media is the state, what it is. It's a state media. They work at the behest of politicians. They put out stories the politicians want them to put out. They get all their information from politicians and the government. Right? Do we see media doing actual investigations and reporting and breaking stories like this one? Like, this should have been a journalist breaking, like Watergate. It was who investigated it, discovered it, and then released it. They didn't work together with the president of the United States and try to cover it all. He had to resign and Gerald Ford had to pardon him because what he did was so illegal, he was going to go to jail. Ford pardoned him so we can move on, even though he didn't. It was a political favor. I think we all know that. He didn't think it was innocent. He's like, yeah, no, we're going to pardon it just so we can move on. But we don't see that nowadays. It's almost as if, and this is just opinion, that the media is a arm of the government. It's a propaganda machine of government, and they project two sides. But in the end, both of those sides equal a bigger, a stronger, a more centralized, and more controlled government. This has been the Ryan Samuels Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to go to realpatriotgear.com. Use my code word Samuels11. Save 10% this Christmas. These shirts are great, patriotic, made by a local, an American family. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I thank all of you for support. I thank you. My family thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe this and subscribe to this video on Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you hit the little bell. Hit the little bell so that when I go, you get notified, right? And then I can't get through because you guys are pushing it through. So thank you very much. And I will see you guys next time.